Do you feel like giving up on your marriage? Do you feel like you have just released your last batch of strength, your last batch of emotions, your last batch of positivity, and you just want to throw in the towel because of the continuous challenges that you have gone through? Well, in this video, I will be talking about why you should hang in there, why you should hold tight to your marriage, because there's a brighter future, there's hope, and there's light at the end of the tunnel. But before we get into this video, my name is Sarah. I am passionate about nurturing marriages and building amazing relationships. They say that marriage is a bed of roses. When you look at a rose, there's the floral part and there's that part that has a bit of thorns. That means that every marriage has a season where you will experience a bit of rocks here and there. You will clash a bit. You will have a few challenges, or for some, it's challenge upon challenge. However, what is your response to this? What happens when it has stretched? Recently, I was talking to a friend and I was trying to describe a few ways in which some people's marriages have started. For some, it starts like one of those movies where you're shooting here, that the one side is shooting and the other side is shooting, and you're not sure who is on the wrong and who is on the right, who is the enemy here, and who is on the offense, who is on the defense. You're not sure. It's just a war zone. And for others, it starts as a honeymoon, beautiful, amazing, everything is working out. And for others, it's more like, is it nice? I don't know. It's just there, not very high, not very low, not bad, not so good. It's just plain. Well, I would like to share with you one of the things that is important to know about marriage. There are times and seasons. There's going to be a time when you will clash. There's going to be a time when you discover certain things about your spouse that you didn't know. There's going to be a time when maybe there's a bit of lack, or there's an emotional strain, or a financial strain. Generally, there's going to be a difficult time in a marriage. For some, it's a health difficulty. For others, it's a financial strain. For others, it could be a career stagnation, and for others it could be just trying to be accepted and adjusting because you're used to a certain lifestyle. But one thing you need to know is that these are times and seasons. Have conversations with people who have been married for maybe 20 years, 30 years, and they will recall a time when they struggled financially, or they'll recall a time when they were at different stages of career and one person had to work out of the country for a long time and the other had to stay back and just hold the pieces together. Or there was a time when they had to be a little bit more patient because of the level of maturity of the other partner. So in all of these, hold on to your strength. Hold on to your strength. Do not dwell so much on the negative. I know that there are those times when in drugs you thought or you hoped that in a year's time this should have been done. In a year's time, maybe this health challenge should have been sorted out. In 2 years' time or 3 years' time, we should have had that child. In 5 years' time, we should have built a house. In maybe 10 years' time, she should have changed in these areas or adjusted in this other area, and you're still struggling with that same situation. Sometimes you need to read the room and look at your spouse and think about the positives as you reflect on the negatives, and you realize that there's so much good in this person, regardless of the fact that maybe you're still struggling financially, or you're still struggling to get your career balanced. You have that conversation going. You are good together. By good together, I mean he gets you and she gets you. What more would you want in life out there if not for someone who understands you? Yes, I know we always want to think what could be out there. We are curious. What would life have been if I had chosen this other person? By the time your mind begins to go that direction, then you are already giving up. begin to meditate within the boundaries of your spouse and think about the positive things. As life is unfolding, as the challenges are there, you are being formed, into something better. The two of you, your character is being solidified, and that the marriage is being established in a much stronger way because of some of the challenges that you have gone through. That's when you're able to trust your partner more, because maybe they have been a little bit more patient with you. That's when you appreciate them more, because they've been accommodative with some of the things that you have been doing. Reflect on those things and begin to appreciate your spouse, or from that point of view, instead of thinking about the negative things, how the finances are not working out, how the goals that you had set for your partner or for the marriage as a whole are not being set at the pace that you had expected. Which takes me to the next point. The truth is, there's so many challenges in this world. So as you are going through that challenge, there's someone else who has gone through that challenge, but there's also someone who wants to be in the place that you are in. So you might think that the grass is greener on the other side, but what if it's actually fake? What if it just takes a little more strength for you to hang in there? What if you just need to hang in there for 2 more weeks, 5 more weeks for that challenge to be resolved? Maybe it requires that you speak. This is the time when you speak to someone else who is more experienced. Seek the expertise of the elders just to guide you through some of these things, because sometimes in a marriage, especially those who are younger, there's that tendency of we have it together, we have our plan, we don't have to tell people our things. But there's a time when you need someone who is wiser, someone who is more experienced, someone who has eyes that are more eager than yours. I know that your eyes are also sharp and bright and you can see ahead, but there's probably someone whose eyes have seen ahead and their feet have also gone ahead, and they know what's on the side, how such decision that you're making, or the behavior that is going on around, how it's going to unfold, that the consequences, the repercussions of some of the things that you're going through. Because truth be told, you could be holding on to or creating a big problem out of something that is very small, because both of your brains may just be a bit not that exposed, or you may not be that experienced, and you're just working within what you think is right, what you think is going to work, and yet there's somebody out there, or there's a couple in your space that has actually gone through these things, and they're able to advise you in a much better way. And lastly, it's always good to be grateful. Think about the things that you have achieved as a couple. Think about the good times. Think about how you really wanted to get married before. The times you went through, or the dating process with your spouse. Sometimes you get into a marriage and life happens. Things become tough. You had a personality before and you're saying, oh, I had my life. I used to be this. I used to like this. But the truth is, even your partner had their life. They had their desires. They had something going on, something good going on with their lives. They had goals, and you're in the marriage and looking at them as the one that has let you down, as the one who is slowing you down. Maybe you stop thinking about just you and also thinking about the sacrifices they have made and the adjustments that they have had to make, and have those tough conversations. I know that sometimes you don't want to hear them, or your partner doesn't want to have those conversations, but you need to have that tough conversation and say, hey, okay, this is what we are going through. However, how can we work out the money? How can we work out the schedules? How can we work out the plans that we have? Like, at least, instead of putting everything on a standstill, can we get something going? Imagine you're in a house, the water in the sink is clogged, in the bathroom sink is clogged, the one in the toilet is clogged, the one in the kitchen sink is clogged, the tap outside is also blocked. Everything is just stuck. But at least let there be like 2 taps or 2 water sources in the house that are actually working for something to keep going. We need to keep going. We can't stand still. So as you're hanging on there, as I'm telling you to have a little more faith, as I'm telling you to hold on a little more, begin to think about some things that you can work on that can start going. Maybe start saving small, or maybe start that business, start small, or maybe begin to process those documents, or apply and upgrade in order for you to get a better job after adding on a paper or a qualification, or look for another job. Start somewhere. Well, in case you have a challenge, in case you want someone to talk to you or share something that you're thinking about regarding your marriage, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next video.